guys, and welcome back to another album review. So tonight we're doing Sabrina Carpenter's new album, Man's Best Friend, which, yes, had the controversial multiple album covers because people freaked out at the first one. If you clicked on this video, you know what it is because that's the one I used as the thumbnail, so you're welcome. But then she did, the response rebuttal picture to that where she's all prim and proper and covered up to the neck, and this one is approved by God was literally her caption on that. And then there was one more cover beyond that, but the original was the best and is the one that makes the joke and everything. So without that, you kind of lose a big part of the vibe of the album, so I think it kind of needs to be there. She's not trying to put feminism back 100 years. She's not trying to be subservient to men, blah, 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 blah. No. She's making a cheeky little joke with the title. That's why she also has pictures of her with her dog in there, too. So just throwing that out there. Anyway, first track on the album, which only 12 tracks, and the whole runtime only comes to 38 minutes. So it is a very short album. The irony that this could have also been short and sweet, or short and sweet too, anything like that, not lost on me. But anyway, first track is Man-Child, which is also the first one that we had dropped for us as a single and as a video, and this song is a damn bop. It's got that 80s synth pop kind of feel to it, but in a way that it seems like everyone is jumping on that bandwagon lately, and I mean, I'm enjoying it as a product of the 80s, but it's weird how it just came out of nowhere and suddenly it is everywhere, but I am not complaining. So it has that vibe to it, but lyrically, I can only sum this song up as horny misogyny, so I think a lot of her career could probably be summed up as that. But this one, I mean, the lyrics, it's exactly what you would expect. We've all known a man-child or two, or three, or 10, or 50. But, so as a female, I get it. I feel it. It's not to say that the song's not accurate, but it almost feels like she's painting with a broad brush that this is just most men or all men. It's Sabrina, do you or don't you like guys? Because I'm starting to almost get a vibe. I'm my spidey senses are tingling. I'm are you... Maybe? No. She was with that Barry Keoghan, and he looked like a rat, so I guess she likes dudes, at least on paper, but maybe he was a beard, I don't know, but anyway, wishful thinking. But, anyway, honestly, lyrically, compared to some of them on here, it's actually pretty tame. It's pretty fucking tame. Because some of them I was am I just too ace for this album? But then my sister basically said the same thing as a married woman. She was I feel like I can never listen to this album in front of people because, oh my god, what would they think if they heard the words? I'm right, and I'm no prude. I'm not pearl clutchy about that kind of thing. Usually I find it fun. But there's a tipping point where there's just so much of it all in one album to where it's oh my god, enough. It was funny at first, but holy shit, tone it down 10 notches, please and thanks. So actually, this is probably one of the tamest ones on here in terms of the lyrics. Just saying. So, first buttered, and some people have gotten over it. Compare it to the rest of the album, and you might change your tune, just saying. So the second track in is called Tears, and this is the other big one that's really floating around from this one that I'm not sure if it was actually a single or if it's just getting tons of airplay, but even I think the VMAs, they did a performance of it, which also got some controversy, but neither here nor there. This is what I'm talking about with the lyrics, though. It was this one. Within seconds, I was okay, it's gonna be one of those. And at first I was so is this just this album's Juno? But basically a lot of this album is that. And granted, is that new? No. Is that necessarily a bad thing? No. But am I sitting here I'm not sure, is this over the top or no? Am I that sheltered? I don't know. But I'm it's a little much. It's a little much. Especially if you look at the lyrics of this one. I'm not even comfortable reading them out loud, but, somebody else can. I'm not gonna be that person, but, yeah, I was just like sitting here like jaw on the floor when I realized what I was listening to first time I listened to it. I was just like, what is this? Stylistically, it's kind of a more R&B, still airing a little bit towards pop, but more R&B stylings, almost 70s-esque, not quite disco, but like disco adjacent, if that makes sense. So I mean, the actual musical motif of the song I like. The lyrics, on the other hand, I'm like, maybe if they were dialed back a little, maybe. It's just a bit much. But, basically, it's the antithesis of man-child, is that then there's this one that I guess she's showing what she wants an ideal man to be like. I don't know. But I'm just like so relieved to hear my sister say like the same sentiments that I was thinking, because I was like, damn, am I just like that lame? But no. She feels the same way, and she's like 14 years younger than me, so I'm like, okay, it's not just me. Alright. So the third track in is called My Man on Willpower, and basically, lyrically, this thing... Did Barry Keoghan get red-pilled and that's why they broke up? Because that is the vibe I am fucking getting from this. Stylistically, it's kind of like early mid-2000s pop, like that very 2014 kind of vibe, if that makes any sense. It's one of those oddly specific, if you were there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, God only knows what you're imagining. But regardless, that's the kind of vibe, and I don't know how else to describe it. But lyrically, I'm just like, oof. Well, I mean, at least it's not the other direction, but now we're back to, like, what I was saying with the first track, with, like, the horny misandry. And I think I fucked up earlier. I think I said misogyny. I meant misandry. I do know the difference. But anyway, yeah, the song's like, not my fave. I mean, especially the chorus part is catchy, so I can't totally shit on it, but I'm just like, it's still kind of uncomfy, just a different flavor uncomfy, and that seems to just keep coming back on and off throughout this album, if I'm being honest. So fourth track in is called Sugar Talking, and this one also kind of follows, I think, the same storyline as the song before it. Yet another one that feels like it's probably aimed at Barry. I wouldn't be surprised if that turns out to be accurate, but anyway, this one, yeah, basically shaming the dude for a lot of empty words, but continuing to do the same shitty behavior over and over and over, and how his paragraphs long text means shit to her, but they may as well go have angry sex. Cool, sounds real healthy. Stylistically, this one gives vibes of like early 2000s R&B with a little bit of pop sprinkled in. Like specifically shit I heard on TV that I didn't really pay attention to in like the early 2000s when I was in high school. That is the vibe I get off of this one. But yeah, definitely really not my fave on here, but that's, I think, more to do with just the genre of the feel of this one than the message, but anyway. So the fifth track in, yet another one that is in this string of songs that feel like it's telling a whole extended story here. Literally called We Almost Broke Up Again Last Night. Granted, could practically be my fucking theme song for how unhinged I am, I get that, but I resonated a little too hard with it. But this one stylistically sounds like her own style, so at least we're back to basics there. Message of this one? Holy shit, it's like the most codependent, problematic bullshit, but also I kind of respect it in a weird way. Hear me out. I am still fully admitting it's problematic behavior, but on the flip side, she is being honest about it and showing people who she is and what she is like. So, I mean, I respect that level of brutal honesty, all that warts and all stuff, like, like, there's something to be said for that. So even though, yeah, this is one hell of a fucked up story she is weaving and telling through these songs on this album, like, I still kind of, I respect it for what it is. I actually like this one a lot more than I expected I would, just initially looking over the lyrics. So 6 tracks in, we're halfway there. This one is called Nobody's Son, and I hate that this one is as catchy as it is, because honestly, the lyrics here are the most unhinged ones yet in this album. So it's another one that is continuing the storyline narrative of throwing this dude under the bus, but this is where I feel like it took a turn. Pay attention to the lyrics, pay attention to the way they're worded. I'm starting to think she might be the problem, either she directly or she the character who is singing the song, depending on if this is autobiographical or not. This one, it's starting to sound like she might be the problem, because I mean, I already called the codependency thing that seems to be a thread throughout this, but this one, it's like the manipulation tactics of like complaining that he develops not willpower, he developed self-control this week. It's kind of echoing back the shit from My Man on Willpower, where she's annoyed that he apparently grew a backbone and isn't taking her shit anymore. So I was like, oh, this just took a turn and actually kind of just got more interesting, because it's like, oh, she was making it sound like the bad, or like the dude is the bad guy the whole time, but as of that one, it's like, she might be. Whether she realizes that's how she's coming off or not, that's definitely the way I am reading that track. And I'm just like, interesting. I didn't catch that on first listen, but listening to it again now, I'm like, huh, okay, very interesting. So track 8 is another one that falls into the same whole thing of just catchier than it has any right being given the subject matter, but I'm also following my train of thought that, okay, if this is all like one big plot arc for the whole album, she is definitely the agent of chaos that led to that breakup, because now, I think I forgot to mention the song is called When Did You Get Hot? So, clearly, now that she has dumped him and everything, they broke up and he didn't come crawling back to her and he moved on, all of a sudden the jealousy's kicking in, and now she is very bothered at the idea of him ever having any type of intimate relation with another chick ever again besides her. She's going crazy, and it shows, and I'm like, oh my god, I've never felt so frigging old listening to modern pop music before as I do right frigging now, but oh my god, the unbridled chaos, just unchecked crazy here. And I don't say that lightly. As somebody who has dealt with mental health issues, especially revolving around relationship stuff, I'm like, it's not a good look. It's not cute. It's not quirky to be like the psycho ex. It's not a good look. Why would you want to paint yourself this way, Sabrina? What the hell? Because I think a lot of people are going to start assuming this is how she is. Now, I don't know if these songs are autobiographical or if she's just like painting a character and weaving it through the songs. I don't know. I have a feeling if people like start having a go at her as if it is about her, she'll suddenly claim that, oh, it was a character for the album. And if they don't, give it a year or two and suddenly she'll claim that whole album was autobiographical. Depends which way the public perception goes with it. I have a pretty strong feeling here. We've seen how this kind of shit plays out. But vibe-wise, this is another one that also kind of has that, like, vaguely 70s-esque, not quite disco, but kind of adjacent R&B feel to it. It's another one of those. So it's interesting. And just, like, in terms of what the song sounds like, it's catchy and I like it. But, oh my god, just the whole storyline unveiling, I'm just like, I'm emotionally pulling back from it, just paying attention to the story that's being woven across the songs. And I'm like, damn, this is actually really uncomfy. Holy shit. So track 9 on here is called Go Go Juice. Yes, like Honey Boo Boo. And admittedly, it is my favorite one on here. In all its trashy glory, I kind of headcanon it taking place in the same universe as like Pink Pony Club. Don't ask, I don't know. But it's just where my brain instantly went with it and has been there ever since every time I've ever heard it. So this one is exactly what you would probably assume from a title like that. And following the storyline of this album is now she's on her trashy, calling anyone she can find in her phone, going out to the club, getting sloshed, looking for the whole best way to get over one guy is to get under another one, that whole thing. I don't know if that's true or not, cannot relate, but like, this one's fun though. It's kind of got like a little bit of country flair to it as well as pop. It's a fun song, even if trashy, but it's actually a lot of fun. So track 10 is a song called Don't Worry, I'll Make You Worry. And oh my god, the unbridled crazy is like definitely spiraling on this one to a point where she's not even attempting to hide it anymore. She is full on. Like, I don't think it's an accident that it sounds threatening. I think that is very much intended. It's like, oh, this is not the girl boss feminist anthem you think it is. I don't think it's coming off the way I think she thought it did. I don't know what her vision was here, if not for this to all be like a character thing. I am trying so hard to give benefit of the doubt, to just hope and pray she did this as just like a creative story and not from first-hand experience, but given just how solidly it winds through all the songs, I am getting the worst sinking feeling that this is probably drawing from at least some degree of personal experience. Maybe she's ramping it up for dramatic effect, one can only hope, because otherwise, this is not painting a good picture. Like, holy shit. Again, just even if you don't listen to this album, pull up the lyrics of like every song to it and just digest it as a story. It's actually fairly chilling. So, second to last song is called House Tour, and it's kind of a bop. It's like very 80s poppy, almost rock, not quite, but definitely 80s styled, which a lot of this has been. So I'm like, is the story this takes place in supposed to be in the 80s? One can only hope, although I don't think all of the references make sense, so I don't think it is. It's another fairly filthy song where apparently, again, pretty sure I must be too ace for it because it went over my head. And it wasn't until my sister mentioned how, yeah, and on Twitter everybody's like pointing out all the different sex references and House Tour, and I'm like, what sex references? So I went and looked at the lyrics and oh, I guess if you point out that that's what they are, okay, I guess I get it. But I definitely did not catch those first listen, which is shocking, because I thought I had a fairly filthy mind. That one caught me off guard. Probably shouldn't have. Probably should have expected it, especially given how her songs tend to go. On the other hand, in the storyline of this plot, maybe it's a good sign that she's moving on to another dude, even if she's just skanking out to do it, but, you know, like, it's a fun song regardless. Okay, so the last track on here, I guess, sums up the story, because it's called Goodbye, and it is very predictable in exactly what it is. It's very immature in the way it goes about it, too, which, come to think of it, kind of this entire album has been, really, like, in the worst way possible. Like, there's a difference between the fun kind of immature that's just youthful, and then there's whatever this was. This almost comes off like some kind of nervous breakdown turned into an album. I have a really hard time believing that all of this is fiction. Like, a really, really hard time. And I didn't think I would walk away from this thinking that maybe Barry wasn't the problem after all. And yeah, here we freaking are. If that's even who this is about. But it kind of just sounds like pretty much the epitome of like Psycho Stalker X. It sounds like the epitome of like every single thing like all the red pill dudes have been saying for ages about women. They're kind of summed up in the stories in this album. And I'm like, oh my god, if this is what we come off as, this is why there's MGTOW. This is exactly why. Like, no one is allowed to complain when this is the state of apparently what I guess at least a fair subset of women are. I can't say all. I definitely can't say all, but like, oh, it does not paint a pretty picture, I gotta admit. I was expecting better from Sabrina. Some of you would probably go, I don't know why. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't either. But stylistically, this one kind of sounds like it's trying to be ABBA, but kind of misses the mark a little since it's just her. It's not like a group of four, but yeah, it's a quirky little album. I mean, it's got the sass in there that she's known for, but it's in a really weird, off-kilter direction I wasn't expecting. Maybe it's cope, maybe it's not, I don't know. But I find it really unsettling, which is sucky, because the catchy songs on here I want to like, but I have a really hard time reconciling them with myself. I'll still enjoy Go-Go Juice, but like, a lot of them I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I think I'm gonna give this one like a 6 out of 10. Like, she's done better. Her last album was like the it girl, like short and sweet. That's the one to check out if you're gonna check out something of hers. And I was hopeful because that one was so good that maybe this would be more of the same, but like, just like Miley with going from Endless Summer Vacation to Something Beautiful. The kind of same story happened here, where it's like, oh, it's not a total crash and burn, it's not a complete fail, but it's like, I was expecting better after what the last output had been. But I digress. Anyway. From here, we're going to descend into Dark BB for the month of October, so we'll have fun with that. Anyway, that is it for this one. So as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Get your name on the end card for a month from the time of donating. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.